Hey, good evening. My name is Dennis Cravati, as Cedric mentioned, and it's a real honor to speak with you this evening. I was born in D.C. Growing up in the area, I was exposed to a lot of opportunities. I played all the sports and tried out every activity. Every summer, I'd go to summer camp, and one summer, when I was 9 years old, I went to a tennis and computer camp. I had never played tennis. It wasn't something they offered at school. Not something my friends were doing, but I really enjoyed it. The camp counselor noticed I had a knack for the sport and told my parents that I should get a coach. Soon I entered in tournaments, started competing, and my dad was taking me on 2-hour round trips to hit with my coach during the school week. When it came to my coach, there was no excuse for not giving 100%. When I didn't, my punishment would be to run from the tennis courts to this high school. It was about 3 miles away. And it was during the weeknight, so it would be like 9, 10 o'clock. And my coach and my father would be in the car driving behind me. Now, while that last part may seem a little odd or a bit extreme, the point is my parents and my coach, they cared. They were invested in me. Regardless of results, they were always proud of me. Growing up, I had consistency. I had opportunity. And I had positive influences in my life. My mentee has none of these. His father is out of the picture. He lives with his foster mother. There are no family vacations, no summer camp, no sleepovers with friends, no crazy coaches. And just recently, thanks to Best Kids, I was able to put him in touch with one of his best friends, actually his best friend, who he hadn't seen in over a year because they had switched schools. My mentee's name is Amir, and he's 12 years old. Since I became Amir's mentor about 6 months ago, we've definitely had our share of challenges. I quickly learned I asked too many questions, and I, quote, piss him off. An activity wasn't, quote, cool, he's not participating. Along with that, my music was off, my car wasn't up to his standards, in more than a few ways. And while he loves video games, the last video game that I played was Mario Kart over 10 years ago. But those were minor compared to the times when Amir and I would make plans. I'd show up, and he wouldn't even want to hang out. No reasons were given. He'd hardly acknowledge that I was there. Just sit in his room, blast his music, and play video games. Attempts to engage him only elicited anger. And I was kind of stumped. One day at work, after a series of these encounters, I received a phone call. It was Amir's intake officer. I'd never spoken with her and wasn't expecting the call. She was a meeting with Amir, his foster mom, and his social worker, and I was on the speakerphone. She asked me to list some of the positive qualities I've noticed hanging out with Amir, and so I did. And I highlighted some of those qualities, giving examples of times when his actions really impressed me. The next day, I called Amir about getting together that weekend. He got on the phone and he says, "Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Let's do something this weekend." Now, you need to understand our conversations were usually one-word answers, me asking questions, him seeming at times almost disinterested or preoccupied. And it would usually end in, me hearing a dial tone as I was saying goodbye. So that might seem small, but it was huge. So I rattled off some ideas while I was on the phone with him, hoping he'd agree to one of them. And he says, "Whatever you want to do, you can pick. It's your time to shine." We went on talking for over 10 minutes, and I was pumped. So I thought, why the change? Well, when I got the call from Amir's intake officer that day and was asked to talk about Amir, I realized it was an opportunity to show him I care, show him that I recognize the good things he does, that I'm proud of him, that he can count on my friendship and support. Earlier this summer, I asked Amir what he'd like to do when he gets older. He responded, rapper, basketball player, work at McDonald's. He had a backup option that some of his friends were doing, but he knew I wouldn't like it, and he said so. So he didn't tell me what it was. Just recently, out of the blue, we were hanging out, and he said to me, on his own, "I'm not going to do my backup option anymore. It's not for me." And I thought that was pretty cool. So as I wrap, I just want to thank Best Kids for introducing me to Amir. The program helps mentors like me do for Amir what my family, my parents, my coaches have done for me, and those relationships have been invaluable. So thanks for listening and for your support of Best Kids.